It is 11 o'clock. Welcome back in. This is Three-Man Front on Jocks. Pat Landrum, Conrad Molly with you until 2 o'clock. At 12 noon, we'll go to Tuscaloosa as we customarily do on Mondays. We'll hear from Kalen DeBoer as he'll recap the win over the weekend against the Vanderbilt Commodores and the Tigers coming up. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff from Como. At 1 o'clock, Coach Bill Clark, former UAB head coach, he will join the program. And then at 1:30, we will hear from Hugh Freeze as the Auburn Tigers coming off a bye week as at Jordan-Hare against Georgia.
Speaking of UAB football, we had the early kick on Saturday, so I was able to leave Protective Stadium, go home, get into some comfortable clothes, and be a fan. But with being a fan of college football, what did I do? I overindulged in some tailgate foods that I typically don't eat, but I really enjoy. Yeah, I did it up big. Well, Mandu, there's great news. It's electrical muscle stimulation fitness. They're located in downtown Homewood, and Mandu can get that weight off. They can build muscle. But the revolutionary approach, and it's all FDA approved with the electrical muscle stimulation fitness, it's a 15-minute workout. That's right, 15 minutes. That's it. You go through the 15 minutes, it's the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym. You're going to get results. I've gotten results. So many others have as well. First visit to Mandu is absolutely free, and they will put you through the workout. You can decide if you like it. Can't guarantee you're going to like it, but I guarantee you're going to get results. Mandu in downtown Homewood. First visit is free. 10% off when you mention Jocks. Tell them you heard it from Landrum. 10% off the life of your membership. Also, students, 15% off of your membership when you mention Jocks. MANDUU.com.
You know, this game coming up this weekend with Auburn and Georgia, Auburn having the off week, trying to get ready for the Georgia Bulldogs, who's coming off a victory against Kentucky this weekend. The Bulldogs have an 8-game winning streak against Auburn. And in those 8 losses, the Auburn offense has averaged 11 points per game. So you just wonder what they've been working on over the last week in regards to trying to get that offense, kind of get that engine revved up and going. But also in this series, not only has Auburn lost 8 in a row, they've lost 17 of the last 20 against Georgia. The last 20 years against Georgia, it has not been a competitive battle.
No, and when we were growing up, you could flip a coin
Absolutely.
Year to year who was going to get it. And
Yeah.
then you had the stretch where it was Georgia that would win at Jordan-Hare, and it was Auburn that would win at Sanford Stadium. Yep. But, yeah, Kirby Smart has only solidified that in his time.
He sure has over these last 10 years. So I mentioned Georgia. So they beat Kentucky 35-14. Gunnar Stockton, 196 yards. He had a touchdown. He had 48 yards on 6 carries. It's the 16th straight Bulldog win against Kentucky. So I know you guys were going back and forth on what you wanted to do pick-wise and bet it or forget it, because it was really the odds told you should take Kentucky.
Yep.
Just because of the history between the two. But Kentucky.
I went under. I went under 48.5.
The game was 20.5, so Georgia technically covered.
Yep.
35-14. But it was very interesting because after the game, there were some rumors out to Kentucky officials last year about a potential buyout and him walking out. We'll take a listen to this interaction between a reporter after the game and Mark Stoops.
Mark, there was a radio report that got a lot of traction yesterday that you approached the administration about negotiating an exit last year. Is there any truth to that at all?
I mean, I hate to give anything like that legs. You guys could write and say what you want about me, but I mean, I told you there's zero chance I'm walking away. You know what I mean? Zero. That's unequivocally 100% false. You know, and anybody says otherwise is lying.
You said it.
More.
There you go. He's not going to address that crap anymore, Landrum.
He said no more. Not great grammar, but maybe he was a little bit frustrated. Okay, so Mark Stoops is telling the world they're going to fire me, they're going to pay me my money.
Absolutely. It's Ed Orgeron.
Yep.
You're going to fire me, which door you want me to go out of. That's fine. Just make sure, here's my routing number to my bank account.
I'm not mitigating any buyout, any number that you guys owe me.
Nope.
You want me gone, pay me my money, and I will go on my merry way.
Yep.
I ain't answering that no more.
And I was reading some quotes over the weekend from some Kentucky media. And listen, this is the way Kentucky football is. You know, you get frustrated and you're pissed off about Kentucky not being whatever you think Kentucky football should be. And then when basketball season tips off at Midnight Madness, they don't even think about football anymore. It doesn't matter.
We got a few texts in the last couple of weeks. They've already moved on.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the lifeline of Kentucky is, you know, you get excited. You think, okay, well, we can be a 500 team. We can go to a bowl game. And then you turn the clock to October, and then all of a sudden it's basketball season, and they don't care.
Yeah.
So guess what? We're just going to keep on keeping on with Mark Stoops and be done.
I was about to say, that's one of the first clips of a coach talking about a potential exit or firing or taking another job where I truly believe what he said. I don't think he was lying at all. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Why would you go anywhere?
Yeah.
You have the most comfortable job in all of college football. He's living in paradise.
So speaking of paradise, I know a lot of folks are happy about Alabama's victory 30-14, but apparently some parents of some Alabama football players went on social media this weekend, and they are none too happy about their boys not getting playing time.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. I know you thought that it was just in high school that you would hear stuff like this, but no, we're hearing this now. So fifth-year guard Jaden Roberts, he did not play an offensive snap. He was not on the SEC player availability report before the game, so indicating health was not a factor why he did not play in the game. Roberts was part of the fall camp battle at guard between him and two other fifth-year players, Gino Vandermark and Cam Dewberry. If you remember, a concussion had sidelined Roberts for part of August, but he was cleared before Alabama's season opener against Florida State. He first saw action against ULM, and he also came off the bench against Wisconsin and Georgia. Well, Roberts' mother posted on Twitter after Saturday's game in response to this tweet. So I'm going to read you the tweet and then her response. The tweeter said, "You have Jaden Roberts, who stayed faithful, got major offers from other schools when Saban left, and stayed to not play. But players that left are y'all's heroes that get to start the entire game, and y'all wonder why the transfer portal is ruining college football. Look at the message, shaking my head." That was the tweet. So then Robert's mom posted the following: "One of the most sweetest, hardworking, faithful, humblest player breaks my exclamation marks. Got to keep trusting in God. Maybe there's something bigger waiting for him. Roll Tide. Prayers for Jaden. Hashtag Jaden Strong."
Okay.
It's from his mom.
I'm sure that God does have bigger plans for Jaden, but I don't, without knowing the situation, this does not strike me as a, hey, you know what, we're going to reward this guy over this guy, even though this guy gives us a better opportunity to have success.
I think and look, it's unfortunate it happens to people all the time, but I think it's the reality of you have a player that was hurt in the preseason, and you had two guys ahead of him that got a lot more reps, and will probably have a little bit more chemistry on that offensive line.
It would be it would not be the same, Conrad, if it was Caden Proctor we were talking about.
Well, if there's somebody that's clearly a liability on the offensive line and you're still not getting to play over them, I think you have an argument. But the offensive line's played pretty well here recently, so...
Well, they're still moving pieces around.
And they are rotating guys in and out. And it's probably frustrating to be like, well, why is, a true freshman like Michael Carroll getting to play at right tackle when my baby's not getting to... And I get all that, but you're winning football games.
My point on Caden Proctor is it was, NFL scouts and others have told you, and I don't know what they've said necessarily about Jaden Roberts, but Caden Proctor is clearly your top line guy out there. There are other guys that can play the guard position. I'm not diminishing that spot on the offensive line. Just
no, and I get the sentiment of, well, this guy stayed loyal and this other guy wavered, and so why are you a big fan of him? Well, because he's your best offensive lineman.
All right, so it didn't end there. Cornerback Cam Calhoun, who transferred to Alabama this past offseason from Utah after beginning his career at Michigan, did not see any defensive snaps for a consecutive game. Freshman Dijon Lee was the third cornerback on the field. He was rotating with starters Damani Jackson and Zabian Brown. So the mother of Calhoun, who is a redshirt sophomore, posted on X during the game, quoting now, "This is favoritism displayed at a college level. It don't matter how much Cam works, don't matter about his good grades. If this coaching staff made promises that he would play to get him here, Cameron never stood a chance. Facepalm emoji, heartbroken. It also included a photo of Lee with the caption, favoritism has no place here. The sad truth of college football and high recruits. End of quote.
We don't know what promises were made.
Well,
if
she
any were.
She then deleted that.
Okay.
But just like everything on social media,
Someone screen grabbed it, and there it is.
somebody got it, and I just read what she said.
Because some promises are made in recruiting. And I'm sure it's happened at Alabama before. Maybe it happened as recently as this year. It's happened at Auburn. It happens everywhere this day and age. And it used to happen. But again, it's a big boy business, and I think coaches are very hesitant to give the guarantees without as long as provided you come in. There's always usually something at the end. So I don't know what he was told, or if he was told anything, or what he's told his parent.
Yeah, and right, and we'll never know the true reality of that. But again, I think this is another situation where not like with Jaden Roberts of him being hurt. You have a guy that's a true freshman. He is 6'4" as a defensive back, and he is a freak athlete. I'm sorry. There's just some guys that you can't keep off of a football field, and you happen to play the same position that guy plays. Like, again, right, if you're making empty promises, that's not good, but I think it's a situation where you just look around and you go, yeah, I'm sorry, dude. We got another guy that we think is similar in talent level to you, but he's 6'4", you're 6 foot. Yeah, we're probably going to put the 6'4" DB out there in SEC play.
Well, when they're looking for guys to fill spots personnel-wise in the offseason, when they're going to the portal, whatever, they don't know if some of these guys are going to pan out. This is before they've even seen, in some cases, these guys in person on campus and working out, period. So
I highly doubt they recruited a kid like that and said, you know what, secretly in the back of our mind, the first true freshman that walks in the door, we're playing him over.
Or, hey, we want you down here to be a quality add-on depth piece.
I
do think that happens with certain guys. I couldn't see it happening with that guy.
Well, and you also came to a school where, and again, we don't know what the conversations were, but you knew they had Damani Jackson coming back. You knew they had Xavier Brown coming back. You knew they had starters at your spot. So you weren't going to be cornerback one. You knew that coming into it. So now maybe you're not a fixture in the rotation like you thought you'd be. I get that's frustrating, but again, you're winning football games. You're having success as a defense.
Well, I'm not taking a shot at Calhoun, but you're also talking about a player that was at Michigan and then transferred to Utah and now transferred to Alabama. So,
Well, grass isn't always greener, and you hate when it doesn't work out for guys.
But it's just so old. I mean, being a part of a local ballpark for years, and then obviously calling high school games for a long time, I know it's your kids, and I know you're hurting for them because you feel like they're being done wrong. But man, the worst thing in the world that you can do is open your mouth and insert your foot.
But you also have to keep it real. What incentive these days for Kalen DeBoer or any other head coach to play favorites and not to play
the best
that's out there with everything that's on the line every given Saturday? It's not real.
It's about winning. It's a big boy business. It's, as we see each and every week, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars at stake, and you've got to put the best product out there to try to get a win.
This might be unfair to say, but it's an honest take. I could see it happening at a program like Iowa with a Kirk Ferentz who's been there for going on, it seems like 3 decades playing favorites, and he really doesn't care. Fire him, pay him the money. I can't see it happening in the SEC, especially with Kalen DeBoer, given how this season started.
Well, I was about to say, with the coach who was maybe on the hottest seat in college football a month ago, you don't think that guy was going to play whoever gave his team a best chance to win so that he could keep his job?
Yeah.
But some people don't want to hear that. So,
you think Florida's wide receiver who showed out on Saturday was that
favoritism?
It was favoritism. The reason we haven't seen him, and they've had to take a bunch of L's.
Yeah, exactly. If you're tired of worrying about your roof, whether it's your family home or a commercial building, Abide Roofing delivers tailored solutions for every need at Abide. It's about more than just a new roof. It's about a team of highly skilled local pros who's going to bring their A game to every job. They work with precision and pride, using only the best materials to guarantee durability and lasting value. With over 25 years of trusted experience, they have the expertise to get the job done right the very first time. How about a free consultation? How about a free estimate? They're going to come, they're going to get on your roof, and they're going to assess your issues if you have any. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, loose shingles or whether a whole new roof replacement like I had to have, they're going to also deal with your insurance company. Can't ask for a better company to deal with, and I absolutely 100% recommend Abide Roofing. Call them today, 205-941-6223. That's Abide Roofing at abideroof.com.
We will hear from Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer at the top of the hour, his press conference there in Tuscaloosa. Not sure if he's going to be asked about any social media posts by parents. Probably not, but it'll be interesting to see his thoughts and looking ahead to this coming up Saturday. Also, Hugh Freeze in the final hour, his 30 as Auburn after the bye week, getting ready for the Georgia Bulldogs. Last check, Georgia a 3.5-point favorite. They're on the road at Georgia as well. We'll get to your text. The text line 239-WJOX. It's Reaction Monday, and we are here for it. Three-man front on your home for college football and more. Jocks.
11:21 on this Reaction Monday. Calls are coming in at 1-800-239-WJOX. Let's get to your phone calls on this Reaction Monday.
All right, first let's go to a Crimson convict. Welcome in, CC. How are you?
I'm good, man. Y'all doing all right?
We're doing great.
Well, they have, so I'm happy.
For another week at least, right?
Yeah, I know, man, with the way it is in the SEC. But, yeah, Jade buck 36. And let's be honest, I mean, Simp was off in the first quarter. He did not have his fastball at the beginning of the game, and they were still able to fight through it. So I'm happy. I'm very tickled. Hey, did y'all see where Johnny fence to go after some Alabama fan towards the end of the game or something?
I did not see that.
No, he hopped the fence?
I just saw the double birds.
Yeah, well, I think that was a part of it. But yeah, apparently somebody was giving him trash and throwing shade on him, and he decided to hop the fence, and nobody got. I guess he stopped it right there. Of course, he's a class act anyway. But and Pat, I don't know if you caught it, but did you see where he came up and congratulated Simpson after the game, and he said, "You just tossed me 2 racks."
Yes. Yep. I did.
I didn't know if y'all. Well, and
so it's 2 racks. Is that 2,000 or 200?
That's 2,000.
2,000. Yeah, 2K. Yeah,
Come
and
on,
Cost me a pick in our weekly. Go ahead.
It cost me too, that last touchdown, because I did. I took Vanderbilt. I love the Tide, but I love money more.
Yep.
But they did. As a matter of fact, I'd already chalked it up as a win. I walked outside, came back in, and I saw a 30 spot, and I was like, when did this happen?
Yeah, I did too. It kind of ruined my day.
It did. And did I hear you say 3 and a hook for Georgia on the Plains?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That doesn't smell right.
Yeah.
That does not smell right.
How about Texas still being favored over Oklahoma this weekend?
Guys, well, I mean, you know why that's there.
Well, it's because of material. But.
Well, no, Texas. Yeah. Well, Texas still has that effect though on Vegas as well.
Well, I agree. The Blue Bloods do, but I'm going to tell you something. Their backup did not look good.
Mm-mm.
Oklahoma's backup did not look good at all. But yeah, I didn't know if y'all saw that or not about Johnny Insurance. But yeah, he hopped the fence. I guess he can dish it out, but he can't take it. But I won't keep the phone lines up, brother. It's good to talk to y'all, and I'll call you later.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Thanks,
Appreciate
CC. Let's go to Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Just was wondering, when do you think they're ever going to change the Heisman Trophy to the quarterback trophy?
We get that question a lot. A lot of quarterbacks win. It seems like that's the only people that really get considered, unless you get a year like an Ashton Genty, the former Boise running back, or like we got with some of the Alabama backs.
I looked it up, and the last time a non-quarterback winner was 2015, and I think he was from Alabama.
Yep.
Yep.
Or not Mark, but Derrick Henry, yeah.
Yep, Derrick Henry was the last one that won it that wasn't a quarterback. It just seems like every year from the first week of college football, they say, well, you know, he's in the running for the Heisman. It's always about the quarterback. And there's a lot of running backs out there that, to me, are the most valuable.
You're not going to get an argument from me, and I don't think you get an argument from a lot of coaches. But as far as them changing it, they're never going to change the criteria, I don't think. But they do have quarterback.
Oh, that's what I mean. I mean, they got plenty of quarterback awards, but like I said, it's always they get the O'Brien Award, and then they also get this award, and then they also get the Heisman, you know.
Right.
So. A minute.
Hey, you're welcome to do so. We appreciate the phone call. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you listening. Let's get to the text line, 205-834-9450. Very active group we got.
Oh, by the way, can I interrupt you 1 second?
Yep.
I've been getting some text messages telling me that was what CC was talking about Johnny Manziel jumping the fence. That was AI.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, man, it is so. I mean, it no matter what social media you're on, it is these AI programs that are now producing these videos, it is so daggum scary.
So that Kalen DeBoer press conference wasn't real?
That was not, no. Conrad sent me this press conference of Kalen DeBoer after the Vanderbilt game because he was so excited. He was sending me all these clips, and I guess Conrad got fooled. I guess he thought it was real, some of the things that Kalen DeBoer was saying after the press conference.
Those are so good. If you've never seen them, just any college football coach, somebody will do an AI press conference where it's like what you would really want them to say, essentially. Highly entertaining.
Travis Hunter won the Heisman Trophy. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Thank you. He was mentioning running backs. Alluding to a running back.
Oh.
On the Heisman. Sorry.
Well,
Oh, and also one other thing, because I'm getting like, needless to say,
Devontae Smith won it in 2020.
there's a million things going on in the world right now, and I'm being inundated by like a million people asking me what's true and not true on
we've had people calling in asking that same
on the
question.
internet right now.
Yeah.
I am not going to be a part of the story, so I'm not going to confirm nor deny it, but I have been in communication. I'll just leave it at that. But Brett Nordsworthy, hey, he's been texting me, and he also wanted to point out to our wonderful audience and to our show that he hit his I ain't scared bold prediction, which was Florida straight up
he did.
against Texas. So once again, hammering home the fact that Brett Nordsworthy brings it every single Thursday on this program.
And unfortunately, another week for Wimp that
He's back to 500,
has
right?
come and gone with the blue plate, yes.
Yeah. All right, sorry, did not mean to interrupt your text.
That's fine.
It's an active laptop over here this morning.
Still going back to the Heisman comment Bill brought up. Why don't we just call it a quarterback award? And it does seem like most years it does go to a quarterback.
I mean,
Not to say that another position player has not won it most recently.
and back to the Nordsworthy prediction. You think about this. Texas this year finally plays in a real SEC stadium, and they lose to the worst Florida team in 45 years.
Crimson Convex says AI is scary, part of the end times. Stay prayed up, guys. AI gets us all, man. Let's see. All right, after I get through all of the Heisman reaction comments. Did y'all watch any of Arch's high school games on ESPN? Not pretty.
How about the clip I sent you?
Yeah, that was a clip that we we were watching when we had that recruiting analyst on when he was still being recruited.
Oh, is it the one where it looks like he's got like a 5'8" defensive lineman chasing after him?
And then he gets to the secondary, and it's just a
Yeah, and he's
soft
just
whiffs.
like, oh, God.
Oh,
yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
Landrum, did I hear you correctly? You said the head coach of Iowa would play a player less talented over a player more talented because of favoritism. I said I could see that happening at a place like Iowa, where Kirk Ferentz has been there for almost 3 decades, and he really doesn't care what you think. Not a high-pressure situation, much more high pressure than at Iowa, than a Kalen DeBoer at Alabama, especially given the way that this season started.
I can't believe you would say that, Landrum.
Good
It's
grief.
disgusting.
Thanks, Fat Joe.
Wow, you and Fat Joe aren't friends now?
Just hear what you want to hear.
Landrum just saying these awful things. This
Man,
morning.
Just hear what you want to hear, man.
I like Fat Joe. Why are you
I don't
knocking
have
Fat
a problem
Joe?
with Fat Joe. Just frustrated me with that.
To be fair, you knew someone was going to bring that up again.
Hey, everyone, it's National Radio Day. Just want to thank y'all for the job you do. I'm a listener from Damien and Friends to Dusk. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Lee.
I love Damien and Friends. It's a great listen every morning.
Great show.
Keep the text rolling in. 205, I think. I don't know. I might just shut it down. 205-834-9450. 11:34 at noon. Keep the text rolling in, 205. We will get to your phone calls. Let's go to Chris. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Good morning, everybody. Molly, I hope that Big Ten manifest is working out for you, Big Red. What can I say? Start off, baby. First off, let me first come at Conrad, because first off, he's messing up once again. Because to stay on about it, because he gets to press that chime, because we got another recruit coming in. But hey, I know maybe I'm just talking to a wall with Conrad at this point. Second, with the Bama faithful, that's all of a sudden turned around and said that started the season off at the 1 week, week one, saying that throw the whole team away. The switch up has just turned out crazy. When me and I remember that caller Robert said, "I'm not going to throw the whole team away after just one game. We still, this cupboard is not empty," and here we are now. Let's see. Next, what can I say about Bama hater? It's ironic the person that says the SEC is the entitlement conference, yet he has to rely on the SEC QB just to even keep him relevant and outside help, and not his actual in-program recruiting. But hey, I guess we just talking out our necks at this point, because next you know he's going to start saying out his neck the U is finally back. In retrospect, back you got to be somewhere first to be back. You can't be at home on vacation and say you went to Disney World. That's not how that works. Last but not least, we can say about that Bama baby. Ooh, handling business. Can y'all believe when Diego Pavia and that fan once he left? That was crazy. And it looks like Ryan Williams is starting to get his swagger back.
He didn't have the he walked animal for the first time this season.
It's got to get better on that run. Honestly, the MVP of the season, he's turned out to be an athlete. Game and kickoff coverage. Defense got to get better on those run fits. Better on getting sacks more and more. So after all that, what do you guys think after saying what I said, huh?
Thanks for the phone call, Chris.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Chris said, right? And we know, I know he was, kind of taking a shot at the fans that had lost hope after week one, but we know how reactionary college football fans are, and that's part of what makes the sport so great and why doing this show is so much fun, right? Because week to week, you can have drastically different perspectives from fan bases on things. But no, I mean, I think he hit on, the areas that Alabama needs to be better. Special teams is going to have to be better. And I think that was a big takeaway for a lot of people is, have a pretty consistent trend of field goal kicking not being great this year. You have a punter who is, I mean, let's be fair, he's not James Burnip or J.K. Scott, so you've got room to improve there as well. And that's something that in these close one-possession type games you're going to be playing the rest of the way. That could come back to bite you. So a lot of things left for Alabama to improve, but I think you feel good off back-to-back top 25 wins when you still have things to work on.
Kane Womack is meeting with the media as we speak. The coordinators meet with the media prior to Kalen DeBoer at the top of the hour that you will hear live here on Jocks 94.5. He says, we've got to start the game faster on a more consistent level. When you play in the SEC, you can't let teams take the momentum early. So that's what Kane Womack was saying about the Alabama Crimson Tide defense as they got out to that rough start there in the first quarter when Vanderbilt was able to just gash as they ran the ball effectively against the Tide. Other things around the world of college football as you're sitting here and you're looking at what happened over the weekend. Molly already brought it up during her hot and the cold, but UCLA wins 42-37 against Penn State. It's one of the most damning losses in Penn State football history, and it undoubtedly is the worst of the James Franklin career. So a team that, let's be honest, they went all in on a college football playoff aspiration and a national championship. They were steamrolled by one of the worst teams in all of college football. As Molly pointed out, they had not led one single second, not one, until UCLA.
There were a lot of seconds they led on Saturday.
They sure did. But I also want to point out The highest paid assistant coach in all of college football is Jim Knowles. He came over from The Ohio State University, and he's getting paid, I think, $3 million plus, if I'm not mistaken, at Penn State. The highest paid coordinator gave up 435 yards to the 120th best offense in college football. And by the way, Nico Iamaleava ran for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns against this vaunted Nittany Lion defense. The loss snapped Penn State's streak of 34 consecutive wins against unranked opponents. It's the 6th time at Penn State in 12 years where James Franklin has lost back-to-back games. So let that sink in for a second. Half the time that he has been there, he has let one loss turn into 2 losses. He did not cut it off at the pass. That team developed a losing streak after James Franklin lost a football game. And as we all talked about and you've heard, it's the first time that a football team that was 0-4 or worse beat a top 10 team since 1985 when UTEP beat BYU. So it's been a minute since that has happened. So the question now this morning, and this comes from multiple people that cover that program, that they are ready for this marriage to end. Now, Penn State would have to pay him $56 million. It would be the second highest buyout in the history of college football, only behind that of Jimbo Fisher. But if he were to elect to go to another school, not really sure who that school would be that would want him, but if he left, his buyout is $2 million, and then in December it drops to $1 million. So if you're Penn State, maybe you're like, hey, let's try to find you another job.
Oh, yeah. The old Nick Saban school of thought.
Yeah.
Don't fire guys. You just
relocate them.
Yep.
Exactly. So $56 million. Now, if he gets through this season and they decide, well, you know what, let's fire him in January, it's $48 million. So it's a little bit more palatable, but it's still a lot of money. But just reading the people that cover that program, and we're not talking about, you got to think about this. Granted, they had the horrible, nightmarish story of what happened during Joe Paterno. These people do not go after coaches like we do in the Southeastern Conference. They just don't write things. They don't. Listen, they've put up with James Franklin for 12 years.
It's hard to believe he's been there for that long.
For 12 years, they've put up with this, but they're done. Like, they are way done.
Well, and I think, too, because I mentioned it earlier when Molly was talking about it hot and cold as well, but you then hear things after the game of UCLA had this game planned for 2 days. 2 days to practice it, and Penn State couldn't stop them. Jerry Neuheisel didn't know how to use his headset to call plays into the quarterback, and yet they still found a way to put up 42 points and beat Penn State. It gets worse and worse the more you dive into it, and Molly has the biggest grin on her face I think I've ever seen her have on this show.
No, I love it. I love the Big Ten. I always have, but this also means that Nebraska has a better conference record than
State, right?
Yes.
You feel a little better about that game now?
Oh, I feel way better.
You should. All right, so let's hear what James Franklin had to say after that embarrassing loss to the UCLA Bruins.
James, why don't you think, or why do you think or don't think your team was ready, mentally focused after the loss last week? Because the first half obviously was a complete disaster.
Yeah, obviously we did not handle last week's loss well. We also lost some players in that game during the week. Everything else, the travel, everything else, did not. And before you know it, obviously they get a touchdown drive, an onside kick, and now we're fighting for the next 3 quarters. So that's my responsibility, and I didn't get it done.
All right, so let me see if I understand this right. So one of the excuses that he gave was the travel to Los Angeles. What was the excuse for Oregon to go from Eugene to Happy Valley the week before and beat your ass? What was the excuse there? In your own backyard.
Right.
I am so tired of hearing these Big Ten coaches say this. Y'all signed up for this. Go be an independent. Go be Notre Dame. You want the big fat check that Fox and the Big Ten want to give you every year? Shut your mouth and play football.
Go take it up with your AD and your president.
Absolutely. But giving us this excuse about the travel, get over it. So tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
And I could tell you're watching the press conference, like when he said that, he was, oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. But that's what he was thinking in his heart of hearts. The true feelings come out when you lose a game like that. The travel. Yeah, because I'm sure they're on a Spirit Airlines flight from Lancaster, Pennsylvania to Los Angeles, California, with stops in Kansas City, Denver, and maybe Phoenix before they got to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're Penn State. Complete joke. They should fire him immediately. And listen, there's money in the Keystone State. I think they can write a check and be done with this clown. I have no idea why they've waited this long, but it's going to get worse. Mark it down for that clown.
Yeah. At least we won't have the suspense of waiting until the college football playoff.
Oh, I know. It's great. They're already out of the conversation.
Don't waste my time. We'll continue. Your text, your phone calls welcome this Reaction Monday on Jocks.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll hear from Kalen DeBoer. As the Alabama Crimson Tide, they get ready for the I understand there's just been a lot of people on social media and on our text line from 2 to 6 right here on Jocks You can go and you can follow, or you can check it out, my social media at Pat Smith Radio. And I just quote tweeted something. So we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. But if you're wondering what's going on, you can just go to at Pat Smith Radio and you can see what's going on.
Yeah, we got a lot of responses to James Franklin losing at UCLA and then complaining about the time travel, which see a lot of you feel about James Franklin as a head coach, kind of like what we do, right? 800-239-WJOX. Let's go to Greg. He's in Russellville. Hey, Greg.
Sure y'all wasn't AI generated on my TV.
No. Not yet.
Hey, I just wanted to James Franklin. I've watched Fanatics so bad I'll stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning watching bad West Coast games. But anyway, I saw UCLA parts of a couple of games, and I mean, Penn State don't have to get ready but about 2 or 3 games a year with their schedule they got. I mean, out of 12 games, you only got to get ready for 3. I mean, and then they fuss about having to go across the country. Well, they should have let every player hitchhike to the last 20 miles and walk the last 20 miles and still beat UCLA. I mean, they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen in college football. I mean, they're one of the – I mean, you remember when New Mexico State and New Mexico used to play at the end of each year to see who could get a win?
Yep, and Pat would figure out which one belonged to Las Cruces and one.
Yeah, that's still a very big problem at my house.
That's the only reason he would tune in.
Yeah.
That's UCLA this year, from what I saw watching them play. And, I mean, they've scored more points Saturday, and they've scored the whole year put together. That's just about.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. I mean, that's what a buddy of mine, I have to give my buddy credit. He said, Penn State, I had to keep looking back at it to make sure it's the right score. And he said, Penn State should be able to hitchhike every player all the way out there and make them walk the last 20 miles and still stump a mud hole in UCLA. So, anyway, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in out there. But it ain't like they're SEC teams and having to get ready every week to play a tough opponent. I mean, most of the time, 3, they might have to play 4 games a year. The rest of them are just, win. Let you win those games. But anyway, I just wanted to say hi to you guys and throw my 2 or 3 cents in. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Hey,
Appreciate
you too,
the call.
Greg. Thank you.
Always great to hear from you. Very much so. Man, I know it's Reaction Monday, but man.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Someone saying, cut him a break, Pat, talking about James Franklin. They traveled through 2 time zones, 3 if you count Mountain. I think that was tongue-in-cheek. I hope it was.
I mean, are you guys not tired of it like I am? Listen to these people. I don't remember Dan Lanning ever griping and complaining about it. Or what about the fact that the University of Washington went from one part of the top of the country to College Park, Maryland, fell behind 20-3, and came back and beat the Terrapins? They didn't have a problem traveling, did they? And fell behind by 17 points and came back and won the football game. Isn't that amazing?
I think, Pat, in James Franklin's case, it's easier to throw out the possible reason his team didn't play well as opposed to we did a really, really poor job as a coaching staff having this team ready to play to a much inferior team.
And he lost players during the week, Landrum.
That's going on in Happy Valley? Really? Man, he needs to start calling all these training staff around the country and these other coaches that don't have to deal with that ever and find out what their secret is.
It's crazy.
I think it's a little bit of vinegar every single day.
And I know Conrad is excited to get this news. It appears that Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George will call the Alabama game. I know there's a lot of people that are not Joe Tess fans during Alabama broadcast.